I'm CJ Rosenbaum, one of the founding partners of Rosenbaum Famularo, the law firm behind AmazonSellersLawyer.com. And today, July 9th, 2019, here is the breaking news for Amazon sellers all over the world. I'm really excited to give you mostly good news, but stay tuned to the very end because the last story is not good news for Amazon sellers. Okay, first breaking news story, good news. The legal team at Amazon is responding more and more in a positive way. Now, if your plans of action fail, your appeals fail, the policy teams fail, your Bezos escalations fail, the next step that we do as the attorney for the seller is to reach out to the legal team and explain why you are not violating anyone's intellectual property rights. If you're a private label seller, why somebody is violating your rights. And what has been happening historically over the last several years is that Amazon's legal team wouldn't respond, but it would get the wheels turning and sellers would get reinstated and hijackers would be gone. Now, Amazon's legal team is actually responding and not just necessary to legal issues. So good news for sellers, there is yet another pathway to resolve your issues amicably through Amazon's legal department. Second breaking news story for Amazon sellers, another piece of good news, is that the report infringement page now is requiring at least two more pieces of information. One, you have to put in, or whoever's making the complaints, baseless or not, has to at least put in the date of first use. That is vital for intellectual property right complaints, and it now requires a link to a website. So if you are reporting if you're reporting infringement, you have to add two more pieces of information if your complaint is legitimate. And if you're a third-party seller and you're receiving baseless complaints, the complainant now has to put more information on there, which gives you more leverage and more ability to get rid of that complaint, which is what we do for sellers every single day. Third breaking news story, more good news for Amazon sellers. Now, this may seem kind of odd that I'm describing this as good news, but the United States Patent and Trademark Office issues tens of thousands of invalid trademarks and invalid patents every year. The good news is that we have been more and more successful in using these arguments that the granting of the trademark, the granting of the patent is invalid on its face, to getting sellers reinstated by getting the retractions of those complaints. So just because the United States Patent and Trademark Office issued a mark or issued a patent does not mean it's valid. And if you want to learn more, give us a call. We're here for you. Okay. Fourth breaking news story. This is also kind of an odd breaking news story. Amazon has historically refused to enforce distribution agreements, refused to enforce authorization agreements. But if you're a third-party seller and you have an agreement, you have an email from a brand that is permitting you or authorizing you to sell on Amazon, those letters have been more and more successful at getting sellers reinstated very, very quickly. So while Amazon doesn't enforce them, they certainly find those agreements persuasive. And as often is the case with Amazon, the left-handed Amazon does not always know what the right hand is doing. Okay, I said there was some bad news, and here's the bad news, okay? The bad news that we are continuing to see dramatic increases in the number of suspensions for related accounts. The latest twist that we're seeing in the phone calls from sellers is that their brother, partner, sister, mother, friend, neighbor, spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend either has a seller's account or had a seller account. So before you jump into bed or business with somebody, you need to investigate whether they have another Amazon seller's account or they had another seller's account. We're also seeing lots of sellers who keep opening up account after account after account once they get caught with related accounts. Stop. The first rule of holes, if you're in a hole, stop digging. Stop opening up repeated accounts once you're caught. Work on the oldest account, try and get that account reinstated, and then everything else falls into place. Again, if you want more information about this, call us, search our website. We have more information than any other website on earth to help Amazon sellers. Okay, Amazon sellers' rights. Sellers' rights. If you have been falsely accused of selling counterfeit products, I need to hear from you. Call me, email me right away if you have been falsely accused of selling counterfeit products. And coming up, Midwest Ecom in Minneapolis, July 19th and 20th, top 10 event for sellers in the United States. ASD for sourcing with IRC, IMA, and Hickory Flats, all in Las Vegas, July 28th to the 31st. And if you are a private label seller, you must diversify where you source your products from. Look at India, and please check out the Facebook group, Sourcing from India, Amazon FBA Private Label Sellers. Thank you for joining me for breaking news. I'm going to try and post breaking news every single day, and we try to use our 10,000-foot view to give you the latest information to make more and more money on Amazon.com.